Hiya. Excuse me while I'm just having a go at all of this. I wanted to change the foot on Sarah's machine, so I had to learn how to do that. So I'm giving her a ring and saying, how do I do this? So, sorted, I hope. As long as it doesn't fall off or anything, that would be really good. Right, what are we doing today? We are doing a yin yang purse. Okay, it's one of these little things that, of course, has come off Pinterest and we've had a look. And my first tryout wasn't brilliant. So I've recut it. This is it, okay? So I've managed to cut out, let's see, I managed to cut it out just right. And it's supposed to, the idea is that it goes on either side. So you can put coins on one side and your card on the other. Only now I've done it, I can't get my card in there. So I've cut it a little bit bigger and we'll give it a go. It was just a video, so I'm sort of struggling, and I put tabs on the, it all went tits up. So we're going to give it another go. So how are you all? What have you been doing? So it's hi Jean and Karen and Natalie. So how are you all doing? And hello to everybody lurking in the background without saying hello. I'm doing Tuesday. It is Tuesday, not Thursday. And tomorrow Sarah is starting a new quilt along, I think. And then we are going on to hiya Carolyn, we're going to Malvern then on Thursday to set up, so the lives will be coming from Malvern on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Sarah will be wandering around telling you all about what's going on. So without further ado, I'm going to work you through this, okay, and I just have to hope that I've remembered how to do it. So, Liz, your purchase is in a little brown bag and it's all ready with the Malvern stuff ready to go. So, keep your fingers crossed that we actually remember it, okay? Right, where are we? 3. So, 3 is overhead. We are doing this little purse, okay? And as you can see, it didn't quite go according to plan, so we're going to give it another go and hope that I can get it right this time. So we have 2 outside pieces at 5 1/4 by 4 1/2. Okay, we have 1 set of lining, 5 1/4 by 4 1/2, and we have another set of linings, 5 1/4 by 4 1/2, because the whole idea is that this little purse, it's going to go in either way and they're separate pockets. Okay, now you can do this any size that you like, okay, using the same principle. Now I've forgotten to pack, I've forgotten to do the pack a circle clasp thingy. The idea is that if you keep it quite small, it would end up on your, you could put it on your keys if you were going out, or tag it into a bag, you know, one of your small bags. So the idea is to put a loop on there, but it's, I'm going to use a key ring one so it'll go on afterwards. So I've got a bit of that, a bit of this and a bit of that. So this one, I just picked up a little bit of iron-on interfacing. Let me just check it is, yeah. You probably would want it a bit bigger than this, but it's what I picked up. So we're just going to go with that. Hang on, let me just, so we're going with that, okay. So we're going to start with ironing it on. So let me find her iron. I'm a bit, this machine that she's got, proper posh. had to take the plate off, which just clips out. Mine, you've got to unscrew it and change it because she had the straight stitch one on. So this one, you just like press the sides and it pops off, but then you have to tell it what foot you've put on, and proper posh, proper. Right, okay, so we are going to start with putting, oh, let's bring this ironing thing over here. I don't know whether I'm Martha or Martha today, like. Right, so we are just ironing this, okay. I've got a fold in it, I think it's where I just shoved it in a bag. So we're gonna iron this. Let me put, you're all squiff, you are. Has that worked? There we are. That's a bit better, isn't it? Right, so we're just ironing this like that. And then I'm going to put this in the middle. Make sure it's the right way up. Shiny bit down. Okay, I'm just going to stick that in the middle. It probably could do with being a bit bigger, but it's what I've got with me, so we're going with that. Just putting that in. Have you seen this fabric? It's just delightful. This is from the new Arctic, Lewis and Irene Arctic Adventure, I think it's called. I did cut extra pieces to use inside, but of course I left them in work, and I wanted to get it done at home. So that's my two outside pieces. These are my lining, okay, and you have two zips. Now it did say on the pattern 4-inch zips. I haven't got 4-inch, so we're going to do our best with what we've got. So I'm going to just fold this in. I don't think we want it quite as big as long as this, so we'll just fold it in and then I'll cut it off and fold that into there like that. So I'm just making a little tag, okay, so that's all folded in, and we're going to each top stitch that. This little iron gets real hot, so we're going to top stitch that. Should be big enough, shouldn't it? Like that. And I'm going to just take this to the machine. I'm going to go up, round and down. Okay, so what's everybody been up to? A massage and a facial. Oh, that's just amazing. I'm having my feet done today. Am I drawing the raffle? No, I didn't bring it with me, so it'll be either Sarah will do it tomorrow or we'll do it later on this afternoon. Right, okay, so not a big hole. Right, I'm just doing this. I've been being a guinea pig for somebody. Reflexology. Oh, it's lush, proper lush. There we go. Right, so we have our little whatever it's called, my little tab. Okay, so with this, I've got to try and remember what I'm doing. We are going to sew this onto the top, I think, here. Okay, now they've brought this back like that, and I'm not quite sure why. I want to go downwards, don't I? Yes, I want my outside right sides up, zip right sides down, and then they curled it up like that, and we're going to put one of our pieces on here like that, and we're going to sew a lining right side down. Now I want to cut off some of my zip, so I'm going to bring that in here, and I'm going to mark that, I think. You know, this is all, I'm winging this now, alright? So I have to be aware. Right, okay, so we are going to chop this off. Fingers crossed now, girls, okay? We're going to chop that off there. And when we put this down, I want to fold that back like that. There. And we're going to sew this to our front piece, our outer piece first. Okay. To make sure that it's on there. So I'm doing that like that. I think that in that way it makes a neater point. I don't know. Let's have a go. So we're doing, so I'm going to use the zipper foot. Now if you know me, I don't use my zipper foot very often. I tend to use a normal foot and move it over, but I did use it for this one. So I don't know how to put my foot down. Is that down? Yes, that's okay. Okay. So I want to come over a bit more. No, we're going to leave it there. We're going to put it, just sew it to the piece of fabric and make sure it's all in the right place before we start. It's only a small piece. Normally I would just lob it all together and work that way. I'm just putting this so that I know that it's attached. Okay. So we're then going to take our first piece of lining and I'm going to put this on top. Right, that bent, but that didn't. So I'm just going to unpick this stitch here to make sure that that now is flat. Welcome to Sewing with Sarah Jane. Right, okay. So we're now putting our lining on top, like that. Okay. And I want my foot. I miss being able to put the foot down where I want it. I think that's about right. I don't know whether if I cut off the zippy bit there like that, whether that will fold back better. There we go. This might be why they use a small zip, because it bends better. There we go. Right, fingers crossed. Here we go. Eyes down. Full house. So we're going in there. Okay. Okay. going to move the zip piece. Don't want to go too far because I don't want it to come off the end, which would be just as likely. Right, so okay, that's the first bit. Right. Are you still with me? We're yeah, I'm just trying to work it out because it all went wrong when I was at home, so we're starting from the beginning, okay? Stay with me. Right, okay, so we are going to push this out like this, like that, and pull this here. Now it says to top stitch it, but we're going to try and, it might need trimming down a little bit. You can see where it's hanging over. It's where I'm faffing around. Okay, so we're going to cut that bit off there, like that, which gives us, it'll move. Right, so on the other side, same piece of outside fabric. On the other side, we're going to do exactly the same. So we're going to measure our zip. Make sure that you've moved it down before you cut it, sir. So we're going to cut that like that, and then we're going to take off our zipper teeth there, like that, which just means that it's not going to get caught in your seams. This is one of those things where I was lying awake last night thinking, could I have made it step-ups? But I don't think you can really. Right, okay, that's that. So we're going to put this one on the other side. Now you want to do it so that it ends up the same way, I think. I thought long and hard about this. I wasn't sure whether you wanted it to be the same way round or whether you wanted the zip to go in opposite directions. But we're going to do it in the same way. So I'm going to just sew this to attach it to the fabric. Okay, so knee down. It's just to make sure that it's quite small, so you're fiddling around with it. It's just to make sure that you don't have to hold it down when you're actually sewing it. Okay. The thing is with zips, if you're ever worried about a zip, the best thing is to baste it, and it's probably quicker to baste it with a hand stitching. I know a lot of you don't like hand sewing, but it's just as easy to do that. Right, I've put on a different colour lining on this one, okay, so that we know where it's going to end up, so that it's distinguishable from the other one. I'm just moving that along like that, and we're going to now sew that in place. Move my zip out of the way of my needle. There we go. Okay, so we are now we now have these, okay? We have them moved away from my zip, like that. Like that. Now this is where I got a bit confused with putting it together, and I ended up with it all funnily sorted. Now we are like that. So we now need to attach the other piece to those bits of zip, right? So when I watched the video, it really didn't show me anything. So I don't know whether you're going to want it to be that way. So that way. So you're going to put, you want it to go on there, don't you? Like that. So if we put that there, line up or everything, you know, you want to make sure that your front is lined up with the one that you've just put down. So you're going to put your second outer face down, and then you're going to put the other one face down on top with the zip right sides together like that. Okay, and you're going to do exactly the same. You're going to fold that back like that, and then this one will fold back like that on that side. So let's just take it back over to the sewing machine. Are you? Right. Okay. So are we all still lined up? No, we're not. So we're just going in here, and we're just taking that out of the way like that. I'm hoping that it'll slide under there. I'm just going to sew that down. Okay. Just sewing this so that it's attached. Like that. What bear? Oh, the bears! Yes, I knew you'd like it. So right. So we now have pink on this side. So we're going to put the pink lining right sides together. I think this is going to work. We shall see. Right, so I'm lining all that up, and we're going to put it back under the zipper, and we're going to sew this to that. Like I say, I think this is how it's gonna work. How do I get in there? I need to get in there. I'll just open the zip a little bit more. Line it all up again. I think we're gonna have to chop some of it off. Okay. My my seam allowance on my where am I? What am I doing? On here, I'm all over the place. If I was at home now, I would go back in and straighten all that up, but you get the picture, don't you? Okay, is that working? I think it's going to work. Yes, yes it is. Haha. Right, so this other side, we want to put our zip right sides together here, and then we're going to put this one on top. Okay, so back to there. So we're folding this back here. This is the thought processes that go through your head. Does this work? Can I do this? Right, so let's move that out of the way. haven't got enough fingers. I could do with a smaller finger. Okay, so if we put that down there, that'll hold it in place, won't it? Like that. Now, make sure this one is, where's that? Needed it open a little bit more, I think. We'll get there. Okay. No, it's screwed it up. Hang on. There must be a button that you can move it up and down. You know, a hand shanky thing. I know it doesn't like it very much, but you know. I'm going to cut that bit off in a minute. Right, okay. So we're going in there. Not going to bother with that now. There we go. Right, so just put this on there, Seth. So I suppose you could leave them so that they're a little bit bigger. So that you can trim down at the end if you needed to. You need that one out of the way. I'm going to go in here and just put this piece of lining in like that. Okay. Find your zip. Do it up out the way. Reline it all up. There we go. Okay, so we've put all our pieces on like this. Okay, so we know that when it's all going to fit like that, in like that. It's working. It's working. Look at that. Right, so now we need to sew all of this together. All right. So you're going to have a look at it. We're going to see whether we can line it up a little bit better. So if we close those for a minute, you've got to make sure that you have them open when you're doing it. This is really squiffy, really squiffy. So what we're doing is we're just lining everything up and keeping our fingers crossed, all right? So we're going to pin those corners and pin these corners here so that we know that they meet like that, and pin these like that. Okay, now what you need is your zips open, because otherwise you can't turn it through, and make sure that they're more than 3/4, but don't take it right to the edge, because otherwise you might hit it with the needle. Now these zips here, okay, you've got your zips. What you want to do is make sure that the seam is pointed down underneath the zip, away from the zip. Okay, so you want to pull it down and make sure that everything is lined up as much as possible. Okay, so you're going to turn around and you're going to make sure that your zip seams are pointed down, away from the zip. Alright, like that. And we're going to make sure the zip is together and pin that in there, or clip it. So we're going to make sure the zip is, the seams are pointed away from the zip. Marry up the zip as well as you can and put that in there. And last one, seams away from the zip and down. Okay, now you can top stitch it all. If you're going to do it, you need to do it before here. Okay, we're not, because time constraint and everything. Right, I am going to sew from here all the way round to there. I've marked this because I tend to forget, and then I've got to unpick it. All right, we're leaving that gap there for turning round, turning it through. All right, so we're going back to the drawing board. Fabric glue would be a brilliant idea. Fabric glue or somebody else's fingers. Right, I'm still using the zipper foot because I don't want to have to go back in and change any of the feet. Okay, so I'm just lining the zipper foot up. Let's take that out. And we're going to turn and go around the corner. For this one, it doesn't have to be a 1/4 inch or anything. Edge of foot is fine. You're just sewing all this together. Now I do tend to go backwards and forwards over a zip just to give it a little bit more stability. It's all shifting. Going round here. So how is everyone? Did you have a nice weekend? We trying to think what I did over the weekend. What did I do over the weekend? Can't remember now. I did some gardening. Got out there. My vine really needed to be pruned back. And make sure that before the frost has come in, push that over, come on, yeah, that's my baby. So I was out, my buttocks are still going from bending over. So I did a little bit of sewing, but yesterday it was running round through different appointments, so I didn't get a huge amount of sewing done yesterday. There we go, all the way round, like that. Right, and the proof is in the pudding. So look over here. So I'm going to trim off my corners, okay, like that. Make sure I don't go too close to my stitches, like that and that. And I like to take off some of the bulk in these bits, okay, where we've folded it back. Just going to take a little bit of bulk out of the zip, because otherwise I've got quite a bit there where my seam has like shifted. So just take a little bit of the bulk out. Okay, and then that last bit there. Okay, ready for this? So we're just going to fold that back there. So I have an imprint of where my seam is, like that. Okay, so let me see if I can open this zip a little bit more. It's that fine line of knowing where to leave the zip open to. Okay, you ready? I'm pushing it all through like this. This looks a little bit better. It looks a bit better than last time. So need to top stitch or close it off in some way once you've pushed all your corners out. Push your corners out without sticking it through your stitching. There we go. So that's that one. And like that. And the last one there. Okay, so you would top stitch that bit there. So you can push that in that way. And that in, and the idea is one goes on one side and the other one goes on the other side, like that. So you push them so that they lie flat. It's quite difficult when my fingers keep going through the hole. That's one corner, two corners, three corner, four corner. There we go. Oh, and this bit you put in as you're going round it, okay? So that that would stick out of there like that. Okay. Do as I say, not as I do, innit? So this is, maybe I needed to cut off a little bit more of this zip bit and push the bits out like that. And we have a yin and yang purse. So you would go in this side and put your coinage like that. I do wonder whether making the linings tiny bit smaller would work better as well. So you put that in there, and then this one, you can see it's a different colour. That one there would take your notes or your card. Top stitching it would keep the inside away from your zip when you're opening it and shutting it. So that's a good idea. Look at that. So a yin and yang purse. So off you go. I'm sure you've all got bits of zips and stuff there that you can play with. You don't need very much. I mean, you could make it from all your scraps. I mean, each piece could be a different colour. So I suppose you could do it so that the bears were, one bear is that way up and then the other bear would be the other way up, so that you would know which zip. I don't know. Still having problems with those corners of the zips. So there you go. All done. We got there in the end. We forgot a few bits, but It looks better than the other one. And so much bigger. Look at that. It's like mini me and me type of thing. Right, I'm off. I will see you at some point in Malvern. Those of you who are going, and I'm sure there'll be a wave or two from the lives, and we shall see. We shall see you soon. Sarah will be here tomorrow. Are you here in the evening, Sarah, or in the day? I can't remember. Evening probably, because we'll be packing a van. So I'm assuming it'd be evening. So, be good. Be nice to each other. And I'll see you soon. Bye. If I find the button.